Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's your boy Smokester here, back at you with another video. And today we have the OEM Preview 18.3 bikes. We're gonna go over these, talk about what we like, what we don't like, and I have a couple of points of interest that I really want to talk about that I actually really like on these, man. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about that I noticed right away, which is gonna sound really weird, man, but I feel like the engine braking is a little bit enhanced on these. I was going down a hill, but I wasn't like holding the gas. I was just going down it. And it didn't feel like the bike was just rolling full speed. It felt like the engine was kind of taking over and slowing it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And personally, I love that. I love that I can downshift and slow down going into corners and not have to use my brakes that way. So that's a plus, a huge plus in my opinion, right? Oh man. Now the other thing I want to talk about that I noticed is how stable the front end is, man. And you can tell in spots like that where normally I feel like the bike would have just washed out on me and I would have crashed, you know, but I was able to kind of save it through leaning and sitting down and standing up, stuff like that. Like, the whole front end of the bike just feels planted and more secure, if that makes sense. It's almost like a cross between the factory bikes and the old OEMs, well, the current OEMs. And the reason why I say that is because the current OEMs, when you land and you kind of over jump something, the bike doesn't bounce up and pop the way the factory bikes does. So it feels like that in the OEM sense. But then in the sense of like how the front end feels of just staying straight, not through a corner or anything, but just like when you're going straight and stuff, it feels planted like the factory bikes do. So I don't know what they did exactly, what changes they made to everything, but the front end is very, very stable. As you can see, it's not bouncing off the ground when I'm landing off a hard jump. The bike, the front end isn't like wobbling left to right when I'm in a corner. You know, I had like jitter before. It's not jittering now. And just overall, I feel like I can land a little more sideways than I would on the current bikes, man. And when the front end does start to go a little bit, I feel like on like situations like that in that corner, on the current OEMs, I feel like I would have ate dirt, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd have been down and out. That's crazy to me, but they feel very good. Now, the one thing that I haven't checked yet, and we will check after I get through this whoop section. Oh yeah. All right. So one thing I want to check is the slow physics, man. And this is gonna sound weird, but I think the slow physics are always worse in third person, bro. So I'm gonna switch to third person, and I'm gonna see, you know, how it handles. Okay. So normally when I do something like this, I would pop back, and then it would just lose control left to right, and I would crash, man. So yeah, the slow physics are much better. Now granted, you know, you're gonna have to test it. You ain't getting rid of the Poboso physics, bro. You ain't getting rid of the Poboso all the way. But like, you know, going to take off and going, you could, I was purposely leaning as hard as I could, you know, but other than that, like, they feel better, you know. They're not perfect, but they feel much better for sure. Now this is what I was talking about engine braking. You see what I'm saying? I feel like I slowed way down more than what I would on the currents. So, I mean, it ain't perfect as far as slow physics go, but much better than what we got, I feel like. Especially, like, you know, if you crash and you're just getting up, you're just going to take off, you know. And you don't have that extra bouncing around. So that's awesome. And see, like right there, you can tell it kind of wanted to come back and flip over like the current OEMs would, but it didn't. So huge shout out to the OEM team for doing that, man. Like, you get front end is better, and I'm hoping that all of the new OEMs that are going to be coming out are going to be like this, because that is awesome, man. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the rear end. So as far as the rear end goes, I feel like it has a little bit more slip to it. The front end doesn't just want to pop up right when I'm taking off, you know what I'm saying? So now that is cool. I do like that, but I do kind of still wish there was a little bit more slip in there. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the factory bikes, but I like the amount of slip that's in the factory bikes. The back end, you know, you can get it to kind of slide out as you're coming out of a corner or whatnot, but man, these bikes just feel planted. I don't know what exactly they changed, man, but they just feel planted. It's kind of crazy, actually. You know what's nuts is those whoops right there, I always had a problem with previously when I would play this track. I'm not saying that that's the new OEMs or nothing, but they're feeling really, 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 really good, man. These are nice, bro. If you guys have not went and hit the supporter button, and you know, I think you pay a minimum of $5 and you get the chance to test out the bikes, and you get some model swaps, stuff like that, man. You definitely should go do it and give these a shot, man. I'm not sure when they're gonna come out with the new ones, but if they're anything like this, I cannot wait. I wish they would come out right now. This is so much better than the bikes we have right now, which is crazy because we just got the ones we have, I feel like. But these just feel so good, man. Now, granted, this is the KTM, so I don't know exactly how, you know, the newer bikes, like the Triumph and the Kawasaki and the Suzuki, we don't know how they'll feel yet. You know, they all have different dynos and stuff like that. But if they feel anything like this, oh man, it's gonna be awesome. It really is. And I, for one, cannot wait for that, man. That is crazy. I've never been able to get around the track on this track right here. Speaking of which, this is the 91 Raceway. And I have never been able to get around this track as good as I am right now. Now, I know you're saying, you ain't getting around it that good anyway. Look, I know, I ain't no pro, bro. But this feels so good. It does. It really, really does. Sorry, had a notification come across. But yeah, man, the front end, stable. Very, very stable. Feels amazing. The rear end got a little bit of slip to it, a little bit more than what we got. And the engine braking, man, I really, really feel like the engine braking is a little bit stronger on these bikes. But yeah, you got to go get them, test them out for yourself, and let me know in the comments what you think about them. Let me know, man. And I will put a link to the OEM supporter page on the MXB Mods website in the video, in the description of this video. And if you haven't supported them yet, man, and you like the OEM bikes, go support them, download these preview bikes, and let me know what your thoughts are, man, because these are going to be fire. Like, there's no question. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all next time, man. Peace.